I pledge to stay drug-free.
I plan to stay drug-free.
I pledge to stay drug-free.
I pledge to be drug-free.
I pledge to stay drug-free.
And good afternoon. Welcome to Expose Under the Sun, sponsored by the Detroit Native Sun newspaper. I'm your host, Darwin Griffin, and I am very pleased to have Miss Vicki Dobbins with the school board in River Rouge, Michigan. But before we get started, I just want to say our show is live, and if you'd like to call in, our calling numbers are area code 313-868-0342, 313-868-0351, 313-868-4336. The website is www.tv33whpr.com. And just want to thank all of the people here at radio station and the TV station here that allow us to come on the air with you for this half an hour every Tuesday from 2:30 to 3 o'clock on the Expose Under the Sun. And would like to thank Mr. R.J. Watkins, Henry Tyler, Renee Jones, Michelle Cunningham, and our engineer, Tim Smith. But before we get started, I want to thank we're viewed here in the awesome city under the Honorable Mayor Hubert Yap in Highland Park, Michigan, as well as in the phenomenal city of Detroit under the auspices of the Honorable Mayor Michael Duggan. And speaking of Mayor Yap, I just want to make one little quick announcement before we get started. Just want to give thanks to Wayne County Executive, the Honorable Warren Evans, and he and his department, as well as Highland Park and Hamtramck residents, are going to be able to get free COVID-19 vaccines. And this is going to be from the 30th of March until the 3rd of April. And these are free COVID-19 vaccines for residents that are age 50 and older. And this is going to be at the Ernest T. Ford Recreation Center at 10 Pitkin in Highland Park, Michigan. And they're asking you that you register to get an appointment to come in and get your vaccination. And if you are a Highland Park resident, you can call this number, 313-580-3208. If you are a Hamtramck resident, you can call 313-580-5339. And this is going to be from 9 o'clock in the morning until 3 o'clock in the afternoon. And this is sponsored by the Wayne County Public Health, as well as the Honorable Mayor Hubert Yap, the City of Highland Park, Say Detroit Family Health Clinic. And if you have not gotten your vaccinations, you can call one of those two numbers if you're a resident of the city of Highland Park or Hamtramck and be able to get the vaccination if you are 50 years of age and older. And just to give a quick couple of little shout outs, just want to give a shout out to, to thank Miss Alexis Ramsey, who always gives me a lot of valuable information about the city of Highland Park, as well as to Miss Rashetta Akins, who also gives me a lot of information about Highland Park as well too. So again, just to give a shout out to the two of them, and also to a good friend of mine, Miss Becky Evans Taylor, up in East Lansing, Michigan. And then also want to ask you to keep the Honorable Cynthia A. Johnson, State Representative in District 5. And she had a little slip and fall, and she is still asking for your prayers to keep her lifted up, in your thoughts and in your prayers for a complete healing. But again, I just want to thank Miss Vicki Dobbins, who always comes in whenever I need her to come, and she's everybody in Highland Park knows her. She's the all around. Everybody knows her. Every time I ever on the show, first thing she does is she goes and she flashes that big ring that she's got in representation of the football team in Highland Park that won a championship. Is that correct, Ms. Dobbins?
Correct.
And and I look at her and I see, it's like I don't see anything when I look at her hand but that ring. So that ring, she flashes it, everybody knows, and as everybody says, she knows how to rep the city of River Rouge, Michigan.
Right. That's right.
And that's who's the mayor of River Rouge? Give him her props.
So the mayor of our city is Mayor Michael Bowler, but I sit on the River Rouge School District. And so I'd like to give a shout out to the school district and the administrators, and I'd like to ask for prayers for everyone at the school district, because we are bringing our children back, and I'm understanding that there is a slight up in the COVID-19 virus spread. So we just want to make sure that River Rouge is covered in prayer. Mm-hmm. And I like to also say that watch your Telegram newspaper, and there is a mailing that came out for all River Rouge residents who have not had their vaccinations yet. You will be able to get those in the next upcoming weeks. I have my shot.
Good.
Yes, I have the first one, and on Thursday I go back for the second one. So I hope that, after that, because this is new, that I will feel safe.
Any reaction after you got the first one?
No.
So no.
Nothing. I mean, I didn't even feel it when she gave it to me. I mean, it was just no pain, nothing. I didn't get sick, anything. So hopefully that'll happen with the second shot. But I would encourage each and every person, because I'm still hearing people say that they're a little leery about it. I can understand that you may feel leery, but again, remember, many, many years ago, unless a kid had his vaccinations, he could not go to school. If you had polio or chicken pox, you had to have a
mumps, rubella, right?
Yeah, you had to have a vaccination. Also, for polio, you had to be vaccinated. So this is just a oncome of a new virus. And what about flu? Did you take a flu shot?
Yes, I did get a flu shot.
Well, I had not been getting a flu shot. I don't know if that had anything to do with my problem last year, because I had not had a flu shot.
And now you are a COVID-19 survivor.
I'm a survivor. Oh, thank you, Jesus. I am a survivor. And guess what? I am so lucky and so fortunate, because this has not stopped yet. People are continue to pass away from the COVID virus. So I give all my blessings and thanks to the Lord who guided me through this. And let me say that even at this point, we still don't know, even a year after, March the 25th, which is coming up, Thursday? I will be 1 year. And guess what? They still don't know what could happen to me after a year of being virus-free.
And just tell Vicki, just real quick, give the Cliff's Notes version of what did you experience? I mean, what made you think that you may have had the virus? what happened when you first went to the hospital, and then what was your, in terms of say how long you stayed in the hospital, and then after you got out the hospital, what happened? What was your aftercare?
So when I was at home feeling bad, breaking out in sweat, I had a high fever, and I couldn't eat, I couldn't sleep. Well, I'll take that sleep back because I was sleeping too much. And I guess I wasn't looking very well. I was looking pale. And so that was the first step. And I felt so bad, I decided I would go to the emergency room just to check myself out. And so I was diagnosed with the virus. So I came home, and they did me like they did everybody else. They sent me home. And I was feeling so bad. I mean, literally, you cannot get out of the bed. You can't make it to the ladies' room. It was horrible. You can't eat nothing.
So you went to the hospital.
Yes, and they
sent you back home.
Yes.
Did they say why they sent you back home?
Well, because at that particular time, it's a new virus. You don't really know what to expect. And so I was one of the ones who was sent home. Like many people went home. And so I went home. And I felt really bad. My kids decided that now it's time for me to go to the emergency room. They called my doctor, and she said, meet her at Henry Ford Hospital. I went there. They took me from the emergency room to ICU. Now, I'll tell you something. In my world, unless you are very, very ill, you don't go to ICU. I went directly to ICU. So that told me something. I stayed in ICU for 2 weeks. When I left ICU, I went to isolation for 2 weeks. When I left isolation, I went to a nursing home for 2 weeks. When I left the nursing home, I went home for over a month because it took that long for me to regain my ability to breathe on my own. My coughing, I was still coughing. I was still, even though I didn't have the virus, I had the residuals of the virus, okay? Mm-hmm. And it was just it was bad. So it took maybe over 3 to 4 months for me to actually really get back to myself. I was not able to go down steps and come back. I couldn't breathe. So, this virus is very, very serious. So when people say that they went home and they stayed home for 14 days, I question that. But everybody is different.
Yeah, people reacted to the virus a lot different, than others. Some, sadly enough, went to the hospital and they didn't come back home.
They didn't come back home.
And then there were others that went into the hospital that had the ventilator and, things like that. And they were able to come, home.
Yes.
We're blessed that you were able to go and come back home. And now
absolutely,
you're still here with us,
absolutely.
But our heartfelt prayers go out to the families whose people in their families did and did not come back home.
Yes.
So, it's like this is almost, a little over a year now that, as you're saying, that a lot of people, started contracting the virus.
Exactly.
And, it's still, I think, it's still in our minds and it still resides in our hearts. A lot of the families that did witness, and people didn't know what was going on. They thought it might have been just like, you may have, that it just might have been a mild strain of the flu, and not thinking that you really had to go through a whole lot of, cautionary measures, just outside of just staying, drinking a lot of fluids, the chicken soups and things like that.
So the problem is, after 1 year, am I going to accumulate blood clots? Is my heart strong? Is my memory good? Are my sleep patterns the way they should be? Because, every now and then you don't sleep at night. But is that something that is come from the virus? I'm not sure. So, and the doctors are not sure. So let's make sure that when we're diagnosed with this virus, that we go home and take care of ourselves. Don't go running and jogging and, thinking that you're really, really well, because you're not. Take your time.
You mean like when you get the vaccination?
No.
Or when you get
This
the virus?
is when you get the virus.
Okay.
I'm hoping that we'll see something different after we get our shot.
Well, what would you say to to a person that may be skeptical or very reticent about getting the vaccination?
I would
you say
say
you got your first one already.
Yeah.
Because I know I've gotten both of mine already, and it's been 3 weeks since I got my second dose.
Okay. I would say don't be hesitant. I would say take your time. Go get the vaccination. Make sure that you are covered. Make sure that your family is covered. You're not just getting it for yourself. You're getting it for your family also. Your grandchildren, your nieces and nephews. You have to be able to make sure that everybody is safe. And that's what this is all about, being safe. So don't be too worried about, I haven't heard of anyone dying because they took the vaccination, I don't think.
Well, that hasn't been a report that I've known about. I mean, the only thing that just for our audience to understand is that right now there are 3 companies that administer the vaccinations now, that manufacture the vaccinations. One is Pfizer, one is Moderna, and the other one is the Johnson & Johnson.
Yeah.
And I know that people are concerned about the efficacy rate, which means in terms of, say, how much resistance that these vaccinations have against contracting the virus. But the thing is that there's differences between, I think Pfizer has like about a 95% efficacy rate. I think Moderna has 94, and I think they said Johnson & Johnson has 74%. But as stated too, they're looking at one thing, and the important part is that they're looking at making certain that some immunity is still better than none.
No, that's right.
You just heard Vicki Dobbins' testimony about what she went through. And I mean, she was going through things for almost 2 months?
Yes.
And then the other thing too is that, there's a lot of the science that is still trying to figure out exactly, are there others? Because there's also an AstraZeneca, Oxford vaccination that's being administered over in Europe. And one of the concerns that they had over there, I believe it was in the country of Norway, was that some people that had gotten the AstraZeneca vaccination also developed blood clots. So that's a concern that they have over there in Europe, but they're still administering the vaccination because people are saying just because you may have somebody that got the blood clot doesn't mean, just like Vicki was saying, everybody's reaction is different.
Yeah.
And you may have a couple of isolated cases, Vicki, that may have had that, but then there could be some other underlying factors that could be involved in that, just like even with the 3 that we have, administering here. So the thing is that if you can get one of the 3, go and get one of the 3. I got the vaccination, my first dose I got the beginning of February, and I got the second one the day before my birthday on the 24th February. And as you understand too, just to give a quick little something too, the Johnson & Johnson, there you don't have to go back for a second shot. It's only one shot. Whereas the Moderna and the Pfizer, you have to go back and get a follow-up dose. And if you get the Pfizer vaccination, you go back 3 weeks after you got the first dose, and 4 weeks if you got the Moderna. Mm-hmm. So the thing is that you want to make certain those little cards, I should have brought my card, but I'm sure everybody's seen these cards that they give you when you go get your vaccination. I see people carrying those around almost like identification cards. Yeah. But a lot more people I see on Facebook are proud of the fact that, yes, they did get the vaccination, and they're showing those cards like how people do when they vote. And they have, I voted I got vaccinated.
Yeah.
Vicki, there was something else that you wanted to say. We got a few more minutes left about Idlewild real quick.
Well, thank you so much. I'm so happy that you asked me about Idlewild because last year, Idlewild was closed down. We did not do anything. I'm happy to report that this year, July the 17th, there is going to be what they call a motorcycle run in Idlewild, July the 17th. Also, there's going to be a jazz festival it's going to start August the 15th, and then the 17th through the end of the week, there will be other activities going on for that third week of August. So if you don't have anything to do, Idlewild is a good place to go just for a quick weekend getaway. And guess what? We're going to be there. The Detroit Idlewilders are going to be there. Next week, I'm bringing the president of the Detroit Idlewilder Club here with us, and she's going to have a rundown of all the activities that are going to be going on over the summer. Now, it's not going to be as many as we used to have, but we're just working everything in slowly. So, if you're at home and you don't have anything to do for a weekend, try the Detroit Idlewilders Island. You will enjoy yourself. Let us know that you're going to be there, and so we can greet you and take you to the clubhouse.
Now, Idlewild was a resort area that a lot of people used to recreate at.
Yes.
Years past, and I think we'll go into a little bit more in detail in the upcoming weeks about the history of Idlewild.
Exactly.
Some of the well-known performers and artists that used to go and perform there at Idlewild. And then there was a movie that was made about Idlewild too, wasn't it? With
there was a movie made about Idlewild.
I think was that Andre 3000 or
I'm not sure.
Somebody from Outkast. I think it was the Outkast.
Now we have a Detroit group, Phase 5, and they are going to be there on July the 17th. So anyone listening to my voice, make sure that you go up to support Phase 5 in Idlewild on
and they
July
can mention
the 17th.
your name and
they could really mention my name. I don't know if they'll give them $1 off, but they can.
Well, but long as you mention Vicki Dobbin's name, then it might be some additional perks that they may give.
Yeah.
That because I know some places that I've seen you can go and watch the entertainers, and the drummer will throw out one of his drumsticks or her drumsticks to somebody in the audience. Yeah.
And so one of the things that a question that you were asking me, how do you meet people during this pandemic? What has happened? How did we have an opportunity to meet anybody? Mm-hmm. Well, if you didn't, this is a good time to go. You can meet a lot of single male or females in Idlewild. And, the most important thing about meeting a partner is just being nice. Nice is something that we lost. And you have to be kinder and gentler because this is the time for being kinder and gentler. Bring your God spirit with you. Don't be rude. I'm a part of a ballroom dancing group, and we go, before the pandemic, we went to
ballroom dancers. That really was effective.
It threw a loop in our groups. But anyway, but there are some groups that are going back and they are dancing right now. I don't want to give the names of the places because maybe they just want small groups right now. But
understood.
As we move forward, I will get more information, and if they want larger groups, we'll give you some addresses.
Okay.
But right now, if you want to meet someone, and I think this is a great time to meet a partner, because with this pandemic, you don't want to be by yourself. So many people have been at home by themselves. Okay, if you had a partner, you could be at least at home with your partner. So but I would ask you a question: if you met someone, what would the criteria be for meeting a new person and bringing them into your life?
Well, I think one of the first things that you'd have to look at is communication. Is there good communication that exists between you and that person? Because like you said, Vicki, if you were at home with somebody throughout that whole year, the
Yes.
people that contracted the
Yes.
virus,
Yes.
that they would probably, some people might be saying that people got on their nerves because they
Yeah.
was with them 24/7, wasn't leaving out to go and, couldn't go out and recreate or do other things, hobbies that they may have had, and then come back. But you're seeing somebody 24/7, and communication is a real critical key. that
It's a
you have to
very
have between
critical
two
key.
people.
You got to be able to laugh and talk. What I found was find good movies to watch. What about a game? I found that you know how to play dominoes.
Mm-hmm.
I've never played dominoes in my life.
And now,
And now
you've gotten attuned to being able
Right.
to play dominoes.
Yes,
A lot of
yes.
people play a lot of online
Board
games,
games, yes.
that they normally would play in person.
Yes.
with each
So
other.
you gotta be able to communicate and open up your horizon to new things. Oh, I don't like checkers. I never played checkers before, so I don't like checkers. I'm not going to do it. But during the pandemic, this is a good time to learn how to play checkers. It's a good time to,
But like you say, Vicki, it's a good time to learn how to play different games, good time to watch movies, good time to catch them. A lot of people binge watched a lot of, TV
Yeah,
series.
yeah.
So, it's a good time to do a lot of things that you normally might not have done before the pandemic.
Yes.
But Vicki, would have to have you back again. This half an hour went by real fast.
Yes, it did.
So again,
I was
I just
just getting
want to.
started.
Yeah, I know. I can see you. You reel back in the chair there. You was getting ready to start. But again, you've been watching Expose Under the Sun, sponsored by the Detroit Native Sun newspaper. If you'd like to get a copy of the Detroit Native Sun newspaper, you can contact Ms. Valerie Lockhart at area code 313-457-5944. And you can pick up a copy of your Detroit Native Sun newspaper at your local Kroger supermarkets. Again, I just want to thank everyone. Want to thank everyone here at the station. Want to thank the Honorable Mayor Hubert Yap, as well as the Honorable Wayne County Executive Warren Evans for giving this free vaccinations that they're going to be doing in Highland Park. As well, check your websites because there's a lot of other places that are going to be administering the vaccination. So again, stay safe, peace, and have a very blessed rest of the day.